Welcome back, everyone. Astro Commander here. This week, I put a poll on my channel. You guys chose the deck for this week. So if you guys were paying attention there, you will know exactly what deck is today. We are doing X-Sabers. I'm going to start putting a poll on my channel every week, allowing you guys to vote for the next video to be seen and to be made. That way, you actually get to see decks you want to see made, rather than just what I throw at you. But without further ado, I play 3 copies of X-Saber Bruno. Once per turn, during your opponent's main or battle phase, you can quick effect. Immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using only earth monsters you control, including this card. You can only use each of the following effects of X-Saber Bruno once per turn. If this card is in your hand, you can banish one other earth monster from your hand, face-up field, or graveyard. Special summon this card. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Saber spell or trap from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So this is one of your main starters of the deck. There are multiple ways to get him either to your hand or on the field in this deck, but I highly recommend you use him or the next card as your main starters for the deck to pop off your combos. This deck can overwhelm your opponent quite a bit, so just keep in mind that this is one of your main starters. That's why it's run at 3. And then for your other starter, we play 3 copies of X-Saber Palina. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send it to the graveyard. Special summon 2 X-Saber monsters from your deck, except X-Saber Palina, but destroy them during the end phase, which is fine because normally you're going to be synchroing them off anyways or exiting them off. So you don't have to worry too much about that end phase effect of them getting destroyed because they're already going to be gone. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material for an X-Saber monster, you can apply one of these effects. That monster can make a second attack during each battle phase. That monster can attack directly. You can only use each effect of Palina once per turn. So like I said, this one's another way to get 2 more monsters on the field. It'll allow you to start synchroing off, especially if you don't have the monsters you need. Normally, you can use this, get them in, and then be able to synchro off into what you need. Amazing card. Also, why it's a 3 of and your secondary starter. We then play our last 3 of as X-Saber Faltenroll. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by controlling 2 or more X-Saber monsters once per turn. You can target one level 4 lower X-Saber monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So, good way to use him. You get your Palina out or your Bruno out. You get another copy of another card out from the deck. You have 2. You summon him. Activate the Palina effect to send her to the graveyard to get the 2 others off of her. Then you can use his effect to bring her back. And you already have a full board at that point because that's 5 cards total on the field. So, like I said, this is why we play as a 3 of, because he is an easy summon in this deck with how many times you will have 2 on the board. This is just a free body at that point. We then play 2 copies of X-Saber Bogart Knight. Cannot be used as synchro materials except for the synchro summon of an X-Saber monster, which is fine because I'm 98% sure that all the monsters that are synchro monsters in this deck are X-Saber monsters. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower X-Saber monster from your hand. So, another good one, you can summon him off of Perlina. When he is normal summoned, you summon another monster from your hand. Like I said, it swarms the board with bodies with this deck. There are ways to just keep on getting more bodies on there and keep synchroing into higher and higher amounts of monsters. We then play 2 copies of X-Saber Full Helm Knight. Once will face up on the field. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can target the attacking monster, negate that attack. If this card destroys an opponent's defense position monster by battle, you can target one level 4 or lower X-Saber monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. So, this is a good negation for the battle and another special summon. You'll see a theme here. A lot of these cards like to either add it back to your hand or special summon them. So, a lot of bouncing from the graveyard is happening. We then play 2 copies of X-Saber Garsum. This card gains 200 attack for each X-Saber monster you control. If this card on the field is destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, add 1 X-Saber monster from your deck to your hand. So this, I chose to run this one at 2 over a couple of the other ones I was thinking originally, due to the fact that this one will add a card from your hand, but it also gets the power boost. The other ones did not. So this one you can have as extra swing power to try and get over your opponent. But if he is destroyed by an effect, you still get that add from the deck. So you kind of get extra advantage off of this card. We then play 1 copy of X-Saber Immer's Blade. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower X-Saber monster from your deck. This is the one that I was considering to possibly run at 2 instead of the Garsum, but the fact that this one was destroyed by battle, a lot of cards nowadays are all done by effect. So I left this one at 1 and put him at 2. You can switch these 2 around if you want to, but he also does not get the attack bonus. We then play 1 copy of X-Saber Dark Soul. Once per turn, during the end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there from your field this turn, you can add 1 X-Saber monster from your deck to your hand. So if you special summon him and use him as synchro material, at the end phase, his effect will proc because he was sent from the field to the graveyard. It doesn't say he has to be destroyed, it just says he has to be sent from the field to the graveyard this turn. So you'll be able to proc that and get an X-Saber monster from your deck to your hand. So like I said, a lot of your graveyard stuff goes back to either special summoning or adding to your hand. Next, we play 1 copy of X-Saber Airbellum. If this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand. Another way to just slim down the amount of stuff they can do in a turn. If you're going turn 2, the next turn they will have as many cards in their hand to continue a lot of their plays. Then we play 1 copy of X-Saber Galahad. If this card attacks an opponent's monster, this card gains 300 attack during the damage step only. If this card is attacked by an opponent's monster, this card loses 500 attack during the damage step only. When this card is selected as an attack target, you contribute another Saber monster to negate the attack. So yes, he does lose that 500 attack if you let the attack go through, but you can also, like I said, tribute another monster, save him, and then you have him to swing with another 21 body. So we then play 1 copy of X-Saber Regigura. I butchered that name. I apologize. When this card is normal or special summoned, you can add or you can target 1 X-Saber monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Like I said, a lot of graveyard bouncing. But this is another one you can special summon it off of Polina and get the other card from the graveyard if you've already started your synchro summonings back to your hand. And if you haven't used their effects to summon them by their own effects yet, you can summon them back out with their effects. We then play 1 copy of X-Saber Pashul. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Once per turn during your opponent's standby phase, take 1,000 damage. This card must be in face-up defense position to activate and resolve this effect. So this card I mainly throw in here as a backup in case everything goes down the hill and you have no way out, but you want to at least survive. You can throw him on, and then somehow, if you can get him to defense position, then you don't have to worry about getting any damage to you unless they have piercing. But it's just an easy way to keep a body on the field to protect you from direct damage that way. We then play one copy of X-Saber Axle. While you control this face-up card, when a Saber monster is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, draw one card. It's just so you have that extra draw power each turn. So you don't have to worry about anything. And also, it does not say once per turn. This card does not say once per turn. I don't know if it's been errated. This is an older copy. But it does say when a monster is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, draw one card. It does not say once per turn. So if you can get him out early and you're going against another heavy hitter and they start just wiping your monsters without reading effects, you can just keep drawing. And then for the last monster in the deck, we play one copy of X-Saber Palomiro. When another Saber monster you control is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, while this card is in your graveyard, you can pay 500 life points and special summon this card. So it's just another body to bounce back to the field as a special summon. But that is it for the monsters in the main deck. We will move to the spells. We play 3 copies of Saber Combination. This is one of the newer cards that has come out. Well, you have 10 or more X-Saber monsters are on the field, graveyard, and or banishment. X-Saber monsters you control gain attack equal to their original defense. So basically, you just take both your numbers on the card, combine them together. There you go. You have a new attack points. Once per turn, if you special summon an X-Saber monster from the extra deck, except during the damage step, you can special summon one X-Saber monster from your hand or deck. So you're gonna pretty much be synchro summoning once per turn at least. Anyways, you can free summon from your hand or deck. I would personally do from the deck because you can use the effects in your hand to actually summon them. So summon it from your deck, get an extra body on the board, keep going. When you special summon an X-Saber monster from your hand or deck, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can special summon one X-Saber monster from your hand. So this is just a lot of special summoning behind this card. You could play it at 2 due to it being a continuous card, but I like to see this card as soon as possible to start getting those extra summons off of it. So I play it at 3 just so it's a little more consistent to see this in your opening hand. I then play 2 copies of Gotham's Second Call. If you control an X-Saber Synchro monster, you can target 2 X-Saber monsters in your graveyard, special summon both targets, ignoring their summoning conditions, but change their attacks to 0, also destroy them during the end phase of this turn. You can only activate one Gotham's Call once per turn. You cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this card. So, that's the thing to keep in mind. You can attack, but you can use it to help build. If you're turn 1, you're not going to be attacking anyways. So if you use this card, you can get 2 more bodies on the field and synchro again into another thing, because once again, it can't destroy the card that you make with the monsters, just the monsters you bring back. I then play 1 copy of Saber Slash. Destroy a number of face-up cards on the field equal to the number of face-up attack position X-Saber monsters you control. Good, easy way to clear the board, but I only play 1 of it because it says equal to the number you control. So if they don't control as many monsters as you or as many cards as you, you have to start destroying your own stuff. So I only play 1 of that because it's a dangerous call, but if you make it and you can use it, it works out great. And then for more of the generic support that helps you kind of make the deck a little more consistent, but still kind of on archetype here, I play 3 copies of Fire Formation Tenki. When this card is activated, you can add one level 4 or lower Beast Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. All Beast Warrior monsters you control gain 100 attack. You can only activate one Fire Formation 10 key once per turn. This is just to get some of your cards onto the field so you can start going off on your turns. Perlina is the main search off of this, but there are 3 other Beast Warriors in this deck besides her. And then for the last of the spells, we play 3 copies of Emergency Teleport. Special summon 1 level 3 or lower Psychic monster from your hand or deck, but banish it during the end phase of this turn. This is your card that will search out your X-Saber Bruno. I don't think there's any other Psychics in the deck, but Bruno is an amazing card, and you want to see him turn 1. You want to start getting his effects off. So that is it for the spells in this. Onto the traps, we have 3 copies of Gotham's Emergency Call. This is great if you somehow get your board wiped, and you can put this down before you end your turn. If an X-Saber monster is on the field, target 2 X-Saber monsters in any graveyards. So even if they take control somehow and it goes to their graveyard, or if you're playing a mirror match even, you can special summon both of those targets to your field. So it's just a free 2 more bodies. Like I said, there's a lot of special summoning in this. And then the last 2 cards in the main deck, we play Saber Hole at 2. When a monster would be summoned, well, you control an X-Saber monster, negate the summon, and if you do, destroy that monster. This is the one that you're going to want to be playing on their turn, because it does not say once per turn. So if they're trying to do multiple summons and you have both copies, hey, you just destroy 2 more of their monsters. But now, onto the extra deck. I play 2 copies of X-Saber Gothams. If this card is synchro summoned, you can add 1 Saber or Gotham spell or trap from your deck to your hand. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can discard 1 random card from their hand. When your X-Saber monster is targeted for an attack while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, then change the attack target to this card. You can only use each effect of X-Saber Gothams once per turn. So it's another protection, but he is definitely one of the main boss monsters in the deck. We then play 1 copy of X-Saber Gothams. You can tribute 1 X-Saber monster to discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand. This is more of like if you already built a board, but you're still able to synchro into another monster. You can use this one just so the fact that you can start taking cards away from them so they have less card advantage. Then I play 2 copies of X-Saber Wayne. When this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower warrior type monster from your hand. So this helps when you have the cards in your hand that don't have the text of special summons. It helps you get those cards out on the field as well. You can, because there's useful effects on the cards that don't have the special summoning abilities. We then play 1 copy of Commander Souza, Swordmaster. This card is always treated as an X-Saber card, so that's great in this deck. Gains 200 attack for each banished monster. When this card destroys a monster by battle, you can draw 1 card once per turn. When your opponent activates a card effect, quick effect, you can tribute 1 X-Saber monster, destroy 1 card your opponent controls. If this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, banish 1 Saber card from your graveyard instead. So he has a protection. If he's going to get destroyed, just banish the card, because it powers him up even more also. So basically, he goes to get destroyed, banish a card, powers him up more. He becomes a pretty sizable target. We then play 1 copy of X-Saber Souza. During your main phase, you contribute 1 X-Saber monster to choose 1 of these effects. These cards gain that effect until the end of the phase. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, destroy that monster without damage calculation. So he's just an easy spot removal. He can swing into something and it just destroys it. And then this card cannot be destroyed by the effects of trap cards. So any of those cards, I know a lot of the more destruction cards were back in the past. A lot of them now are just kind of floodgates. But if you do manage to run into the one person running cards that are trap cards for destruction, can't hurt them. We then play one copy of X-Saber Urbellum. This was one of my favorite cards as a kid, and it's a lot of the influence for me to make this deck just because of the artwork. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, while you have 4 or more cards in their hand, place one random card from their hand on top of their deck. So once again, they're going to be redrawing the card you got rid of, but it means they don't have a card advantage. If you get them down to one card and you put that one card on top of the deck, they're just going to draw the same card, and it's probably going to be a brick. And then for the rest of the X-Saber monsters in the extra deck, we play one copy of X-Saber Hyunli. Like I said, some of these names I butcher. I apologize. When this card is synchro summoned, you can target up to 3 spell traps on the field and destroy them. And this one does say up to, so if there's back row on theirs and they only have 1 or 2, you don't have to worry about the effect taking out your own cards as well, kind of like the Saber Slash would. So this card is great. You can destroy their back row if you're going second and not have to worry about it. And then for the fillers that I threw in, because there's not that many X-Saber extra deck monsters. Hopefully MX Saber Invoker comes off the ban list soon, but I don't see that happening. But we'll see. We play one copy of Mistworm. If this card is synchro summoned, target up to 3 cards your opponent controls, return those targets to the hand. So this is just ways to remove more monsters off the board so you can swing for game. And that is it for the synchros. We're on to the XZs. I play one copy of number 10, Illuminite. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. Draw 1 card. This is just easy. Draw a card off of it. Don't worry about it. More card advantage equals more summoning, equals more power on the board, equals more possibility of winning. You then play one copy of Heroic Champion Yargenpier. The first time each warrior monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect each turn, it is not destroyed. So this is just that first line of text, protection for your entire deck, basically. You can only use each of the following effects of Heroic Champion once per turn. I'm not going to try saying his name again. Once per turn, you can detach 2 materials from this card, then target 1 level or rank 4 monster or warrior monster from your graveyard, special summon it, and if you do, this card gains attack equal to that monster's original attack. So, helps get a power boost to him and another body onto the field. When an attack is declared involving your opponent's monster, you can gain life points equal to half of its attack. So it also helps boost your own life points up a little bit. Heroic Champion is another one of my fun decks I enjoy playing. It's not going to be winning any tournaments anytime soon, but Heroic Champion is another deck I plan on reviewing eventually. We then play one copy of Heroic Champion Magnum Excalibur. If this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation, you can detach 2 materials from this card. Double this card's attack during damage calculation only. Once per turn during the main phase. Quick effect. You can target 1 other face-up monster you control. Equip this card you control to it as an equip spell. That gives it 2,000 attack and defense. You can banish this card from your graveyard Shuffle 3 warrior monsters from your graveyard into the deck. So this helps you get, if you can't summon them from the graveyard, at least it gets them back in your deck so you can get recursion from it. And then for the last Xyz monster, we play 1 copy of Comics Hero King Arthur. If this card would be destroyed by battle, you can detach 1 XZ material from this card instead. When you do, it gains 500 attack, and if it does, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. So it burns them for 500, gains 500, and you can do that twice. So it allows you to boost this up to 3,400 after the second time. I say that's pretty good. Powerhouse there. And then kind of your big boss monster for links. I have 1 copy of Mecha Knight Crusadia Avermax. While this link summon card is on the field, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Also, their monsters cannot target monsters for attacks except this one. Also, card effects. Sorry, I lost place. I'm going to start that over. I apologize. Except for this one. Once per battle, during damage calculation, if this card battles a special summon monster, quick effect, you can make this card gain attack equal to that opponent's monster's attack. That damage calculation only. If this link summon card you control is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card, you can shuffle 1 card from the field into the deck. So this is a massive boss monster. I know a lot of you have probably seen it in other deck profiles, but this card is insanely good because anytime something battles it, it's basically just going to destroy it, and they're still going to take the 3,000 because you still gain the attack from their monster. So basically, they'll swing in, it'll just cancel each other out, and they're still taking the 300 or 3,000 from his base attack. And then if they destroy him, you have a destruction off of that. So this is a great card because no one else can. They also can't target any of your other monsters, so you can build a board while having this card on the field and not have to worry about them destroying your other creatures. But that is it for the deck profile, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Feel free to leave a like, a comment, and please, if you wouldn't mind, subscribe. It will help out a lot. Let me know you guys enjoy this. Leave comments of decks you want, any tech card you think could get added to the deck. I'm always willing to listen to ideas. But until next week, I hope you guys have an amazing week.